senior officials from the EU and IMF are expected in Greece to study the country's progress in reducing its debt. Then they'll decide whether to release further bailout cash. This follows angry protests Tuesday after the government passed the most unpopular round of austerity measures yet. For more on this, we go live to RT's Sarah Firth, standing by for us in Athens. So Sarah, tell us more about the steps Greece has been taking to qualify for the latest round of bailout money.
Well, we saw very positive rhetoric yesterday from the Greek Prime Minister, George Papandrέu. He was in Berlin addressing the heads of industry there. We heard very similar statements coming from the German Chancellor. Now, we know that the Troika audit team heading to Greece, and they're going to be holding talks here about whether to release that next tranche of money, the 8 billion euros. And Greece really opened the way for that team to return here by passing the very unpopular property tax. And that happened quite late yesterday. And it was already known that lawmakers were almost certainly going to approve that. But that said, that's going to probably add around an extra €1,000 to most people here in the country's household bills, and they're going to try and collect that through the electricity bill. Now, just to show you the problems that the Greek government face here, the electricity company, the electricity workers have said that they're going to boycott that collection of that tax. So really, they're in a very difficult situation indeed. The audit team are going to be coming here. We saw the Troika quit talks last month after frustrations that they said in the slowness that Greece was taking to implement some of these reforms. Well, Greece is still pushing ahead with these, but whether or not they're actually going to be able to raise that money, it is very, very uncertain indeed.
We've seen all the dramatic protest video that you've been sent back to us. You've been down there among the people. What are they telling you?
Well, much the same as we've heard before, that really they're at breaking point. They said these extra taxes, it's been austerity measure on top of austerity measure. They're already in an absolutely desperate situation. I mean, you really can't express enough the fury on the streets. The people outside Parliament are just absolutely livid about what they've said. It's the Greek government really pushing them to a situation that they can no longer stand. People were showing me pictures of their families, telling me stories about losing jobs. Unemployment is rife here. They really are in a very desperate situation, and we've seen this before, and this really is one of the saddest things about the situation here in Greece, is that for all the rhetoric coming from the EU leaders and about trying to stabilise the Eurozone, you move away from the economics of this, and the people here in the country are genuinely really suffering. And once again we've seen it taken to the point where they're approving these measures, but the people on the streets are just absolutely furious. We saw last night some of the worst riots that we've seen for the past couple of weeks. Police again dispersing the crowds using tear gas. It really is a very desperate situation, and that here is the catch-22. It's that how do you get a country back on its feet when the measures that the government are passing to do so are crippling the people?
All right, we'll have to see how this plays out. RT's Sarah Firth live for us in Athens. Thanks for that report. European Commission Chief José Manuel Barroso has pledged that Greece will remain in the Eurozone. Speaking to the EU Parliament in Strasbourg in his annual State of the Union address, Barroso admitted that the Eurozone is living through the worst crisis in its short history. The president of the EU's executive arm called for more unity, claiming the next few years will be a baptism of fire for an entire generation. Well, don't forget to click on RT.com to get more insight on what's going on with Greece and the Eurozone. In his blog on our website, the former Deputy Speaker of Belgium's Parliament, Lode Van Oost, writes that the problems facing Greece are not new. He claims that they were known about 10 years ago when it entered the currency union and no one paid any attention. Find out why in his blog at RT.com.